Hey, Dominic from Even Productions here, and I'm really sorry to interrupt the nice drone footage, but we wanted to show you 3 pictures of this recent photo shoot when we were hiking up at Hundskopf mountain in the Austrian Alps. We wanted to show you because we wanted to give you some informations how we shoot our pictures, with which lens we shoot our pictures, and giving you some information how you can improve your landscape photography. Okay, let's get into the first picture. Let's take a closer look. The first picture I'm going to show you is a picture of Patrick hiking up a ridge here. Getting to the summit, we were quite close to the summit. It's 4:50 in the morning. We were leaving at 3 o'clock. Sun is giving the sky a little bit of orange and yellow color in the back already over those mountain summits of the Austrian Alps. You still can see the city in the valley, and it was really dark at that time. The only available light is the light here and the shoulder lamp from Patrick. I'm normally using Camera Raw, the application in Photoshop, to edit my pictures, to adjust the exposure, to adjust the contrast and highlights and shadows. That's actually everything I do on my pictures. I don't do any manipulation or anything because I try to shoot, and that's actually what I recommend for you guys as well. I try to shoot my picture as good as possible already when I take the picture, so I don't have to do a lot of post-production on the computer. So try to expose your pictures really good, then you have a lot better quality and you have less to work on your computer in Photoshop or in Lightroom, whatever you use. So I basically use Camera Raw. Here in this picture I bumped up the exposure a little bit by 1/3 of a step. I put a little bit more contrast, that's just personal preference. I just put a little bit more contrast. I pushed the shadows a little bit higher because otherwise it would be too flat. Just a little bit, and I put some more clarity in it, and that's it actually. Let's open the picture. The clarity tool actually is a tool where you can make your picture a little bit crispier, but you have to be very careful with it. Here I would just crop the picture a little bit tighter because I would really like to have this diagonal shape here in my left corner of my picture. Everything else, straight horizon, which is very, very important in landscape photography. So whenever you take a landscape picture, try to get a straight horizon because it looks really, really awkward when trees are bumping to the air or a mountain summit chain is going upwards or downwards. So in this picture, I think that's quite nice. You still can see the moon here. You have a nice flare and a nice atmosphere here in the background. That's all you need. Let's get to the second picture. The second picture is the picture where we were already on the mountain summit. It's probably 6 o'clock in the morning. I did a little bit of adjustment here. I tried to bump up the exposure because it was, if you put it too low, of course you can make a silhouette, but I didn't want to have the silhouette that much. I would like to have a little bit details in Patrick and also here in the rocks. I pushed a little bit the contrast. As you can see, I don't do that much. I pushed the lights lower so you have a little bit more details in the sky, and I gave the picture a little bit of black, a little bit more black. Push the clarity. Here you can see perfect example. If you push the clarity too much, you get a glow here. Everything, like all the obstacles, are gonna glow. Here the cross is glowing and Patrick is glowing as well. So we just have to put it back a little bit. So be careful with that one. As you can see here, the horizon is not straight. So we have to open it in Photoshop and I have to straighten the horizon. That's the first thing we do. We just crop it a little bit tighter and straighten up the horizon because it looks really awkward when mountain summits are not straight. Okay, I shot this picture also with a Canon 1DX with the 16 to 35mm lens. I used the f-stop of 14 Why f14? F14 because otherwise you only have a fireball. If you use 5.6 or 2.8 or 3.5 or something like that of an aperture, the sun is going to be only a dot. So it's going to be just an orange fireball or a white fireball even. If you use an f-stop of 14 or higher, you get this nice little star thing, which you only normally get with filters. But I'm not a big fan of filter using, so definitely not of star filters. Sometimes you have to use ND filters, but that's actually basically everything I use. So you have to think about when you shoot a landscape, okay, how can I get the best picture possible? How can I get the atmosphere? How can I get everything like just straight horizon? I want to have this atmosphere here already, like also the sun shining into the valley, the sun shining all into all those valleys. And those are all small valleys. I think that's pretty nice. But you have to have the knowledge of how to expose that right. So f14 definitely gives you the depth of focusing, like, and shows the sun as a star. Okay, let's get over to the last picture, which is actually only a shot of a mountain summit. As you can see here, we have a mountain summit which is lit by the sun. The one in the foreground does not shine yet. We have the really beautiful yellow and purple color in the background. Okay, what are we gonna do with this picture? It's a really nice landscape shot, actually. So, but we want to have these details here. So we bump the clarity a little bit, just a little bit, because otherwise the sky is gonna completely break out. Maybe we can put the shadows a little bit higher. Shadows are okay like this. Put the darks a little bit down, and giving them a little bit contrast. Then that's actually too much. Maybe we have to brighten up. Yeah, that's it. I think that's quite nice, actually. Let's open it in Photoshop because we have to straighten the horizon again now. Okay, we open the Photoshop. My sensor, as you can see, is not super clean as well. Because if you shoot outdoors, you have to clean your sensor from time to time. Okay, we straighten the horizon, as you can see here, because the chain in the background is not super straight. Just a little bit of adjustment. I'm really a fan of straight horizons. Yeah, and then we just with the dot here. Lens problem. Actually, a sensor problem, not a lens problem. Okay, that's also handheld. Let's see the details of the camera. I shot it on f8, which makes sense here because then you have a nice depth of field. ISO 1000, which is super accurate for the newer cameras. It doesn't make any difference if I shoot it on 800 or 1000, and 2/50th of a second. Of course, you can go a little bit slower, maybe 125, and then shoot it on ISO 800 or even 640. But quality-wise, it does not make a big difference. I hope you liked the 3 pictures I showed you, and I think those 3 pictures are quite good examples of how landscape photography should look like. Landscape photography is living from atmosphere and light, and the light is changing every like 30 seconds, 1 minute. In the morning it's really going fast. So you have to think in advance, okay, what time I have to be there and how I'm gonna shoot it, with which lens I'm gonna shoot it. So you have to think a little bit in advance. Okay? I hope you liked it. Please subscribe and hit the like button. You can see all the pictures on our Instagram account. Link is in below in the description. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up and stay tuned. See you next time.